We're just here to do what we do best. Piss people the fuck off.
If you like to gamble, I'll tell you I'm your man. You win some, lose some, it's all the same to me. The pleasure is to play, make no difference what you say. I don't say greed, the only card I need is the ace of spades. The ace of spades. Playing for the high road, dancing with the devil, going with the flow, it's all a game to me. Seven or 11, snake eyes.
And we are live. Howdy do, you fucking goofies. We are back for another installment of the I Hate You Scrap Show. I don't even know where to be. I'm by myself today. Mike will be back next week, and we'll get back to another I Hate You. But for now, let's talk some scraps, bruh. We had UFC Fight Night 169. Then we had Mikey Garcia, Jesse Vargas. We're going to talk about all that. But first, it is Sunday, March 1st, motherfucker. February is over. Now keep this in mind. This is going to be an ongoing theme throughout today. I'm just going to say it, you know. Nobody else wants to talk about it. Nobody else wants to bring it up. I'm going to be the one to say it, bruh. It's been a horrible Black History Month. Niggas been taking L's, bruh. Niggas been taking L's all over the board, bruh. All over the board. I mean, you start out with the tragedy, Kobe Bryant, R.I.P., Gigi, his daughter, rest in peace. Sad tragedy. And then you just get to niggas taking L's, bruh. Taking L's. I mean, I guess John Jones won, but that nigga lost, though. He lost, though. God damn. Corey Anderson knocked the fuck out. Deontay Wilder got his fucking ear exploded. Nigga was bleeding out the mouth like I had never seen before. It was crazy. It's crazy. Just L's, bro. Just L's. This nigga, even last night, this nigga Cal Yafai. Goddamn, but we gonna get to that. And by the way, don't mind me, man. I just woke the fuck up. I'll be sipping on coffee. You might see me munching on an apple fritter and shit. Hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. Don't hate. Let's start with and also we didn't get to talk about some of the fights last week because I told you I'm probably not gonna do a recap show because it's every other week for the scrap show, so we can talk about the fights from the previous weeks too. I'll do that at the end though. But yeah, okay. So we started with Grant Dawson and Derek Minor, which this was probably the most competitive fight on the card, I'd say. And for reasons, but this is probably the most competitive fight on the card. I thought it was good. He ended up catching him in a submission in the second round, but it was a good fight. Derek Minor is a very experienced fighter. He's been in the UFC for some time. It was a great win for Dawson, and he's a young fighter, up and coming. We'll see what he has in the featherweight division. I could see him being a real problem for that division. After that, we had the return of Megan Anderson, which was all right. She was fighting this Brazilian chick, Norma Dumont. I hope I'm getting that right, Norma Dumont. But this Norma bitch was talking crazy. All right, this is her first fight in the UFC. She's 4-0. What the fuck was her nickname? Oh man. Oh, the bitch was calling herself the Immortal. Calling herself the Immortal. Never fought the UFC. Okay, that's such a ballsy, gutty name to go with from the jump. You call yourself the Immortal. I mean, you can't lose. So off the rip, I'm already skeptical. I'm like, all right, bitch. The jury's already out for you. We're going to see what happens. She gets out there, and she's actually doing well. Like, it looked like she was dominant, really, from most positions. I think she even took her down at one point. She's a shorter woman. Megan Anderson is a tall lady. So, I mean, to be able to get in on her is saying something. And then I don't really know where it went wrong for her. I really don't. I really don't. I don't know if it was like a confidence thing, like man, I'm really doing this, or I don't know because once she got to Megan Anderson, once they got to the ground, she was definitely the better grappler, but I feel like the confidence thing for Norma Dumont was a major factor because she really wasn't. I hate to say she wasn't trying, but it didn't make sense. I don't know. She should have let go, stood back up to her feet, but on the ground she wasn't right. And then when she did get back up to her feet, all that energy she spent on the ground, it just it wasn't good. She got clocked with that one right, and it was curved. It's a beautiful right. I'm not trying to take anything away from Megan Anderson, but I don't know for Norma Dumont, it's hard to learn from this one, if that makes sense. There wasn't much to go off of because she looked good from the first 2 minutes. She looked pretty good. But damn, you can't call yourself an immortal and get a right cross to the fucking noggin and just drop. That's not very immortal like. Okay, the next match was the light heavyweight matchup with Ion Kutalaba and Magomed Ankalev. In this one, honestly, I didn't really know much about both fighters, but the press conferences leading up were like, they kind of went viral because Kutalaba was wilding. Just wilding. I don't know what drugs this guy was on during the the weigh-ins where they do the picture and shit before they fight. I mean, I get it. You try to sell fights, but at some point it's like, dude, come on. This is a fight night. This ain't even a pay-per-view thing. Like, relax. Relax. But then when they're in the ring, Bruce Buffer is doing the names before the fight. And Kutalaba, like, cuts off Bruce Buffer and, like, runs in and, like, chest bumps Magomed on the other side. And the shit was just so awkward. I remember Bruce Buffer didn't even finish. He was just like, security gonna do something? And the security had to grab him and put him on the other end. And that was weird enough. And then it only got weirder from there. So they start fighting. And Magomed is throwing a lot more. He's throwing these head kicks. But most of them aren't landing. Most of them, Kutalaba is blocking. But he's doing this weird thing. I don't know what the fuck he was doing. But it was like he was like acting like he was dizzy to try to like lure in Magomed and catch him with the overhand right. But it looked bad. You'd have to. I wish I'm by myself today, so I'm not going to be playing fights, and it's just too much to do for me to have to look and play them at the same time and talk. But next time I'll get back to that. But you'd have to see it to understand. The guy was like, he was like acting like he was knocked out or concussed to like wait for a race, almost like Derek Lewis. Derek Lewis does this regularly. This is like a Derek Lewis trademark. I would recommend any fighter do this, and for this reason, because when he was doing this, who was the referee? I think it was Kevin McDonald, who's a great referee, thought that he was fucked up. So and these kicks weren't even really landing. Nothing was really even landing. But the way he was doing his fake out, it looked like he was fucked up in the face and shit. So he ended up stopping the fight within like 30 seconds of the fight. It was crazy because the guy's fine. As soon as he stops the fight, he looks at him like, what the fuck? Like, what are you doing? And I'm sitting up there, okay, this brings up a huge dilemma that I have with the UFC, a huge dilemma. It's okay because, like, obviously people are going to make mistakes. Refs are going to make mistakes. That happens in sports. That will always happen in sports. People are going to make mistakes. But my whole thing is, like, why do we have to double down on the mistakes? Like, once you realize that he cut the match off early and made a mistake and that the fight should have went on, he looks at the commission, he's like, what happened? Sees the replay. Why is it so wrong to say, okay, fight back on? Why does that have to be so final? I don't understand. Like, it was so stupid. Like, there were only 30 seconds in, nobody's hurt. The rest isn't a factor here, because I could see if you're like, oh, well, one guy got to rest in the time that we took to do all this. I can see that, but the fight had just barely begun. Everybody is fresh. Everybody is good. I cannot wrap my head around why we couldn't just say, okay, that was a mistake. That was a faulty stoppage. Whatever time is on, or even just start it back from the beginning. We just start, like that never happened, match start, because it was that quickly. Or even you just let the time that ran off. If both sides are okay with it, we're back on. What's so hard about that? And the fans would love it. I don't get why it's got to be so set in stone once mistakes are made in this sport. It's like, there's no room for improvement there. Like, and Kevin McDonald knows he made a mistake. He knows he made a mistake. So now he's got to, I mean, I was thinking about this when I was watching. He's going to have to apologize, obviously. The best thing you could do when you're in that situation is admit you made a mistake and apologize. Sort of like with Herb Dean, Robbie Lawler. You just admit you made a mistake and they'll recognize you're just being a man about it. You know, they know you're a great ref. And it happens because, to be honest, he did look a little fucked up. When I was watching it, the first, I realized what he was doing because I've seen Derek Lewis do it so many times. But at first, I thought he was fucked up because the first kick kind of landed and he started doing it and I was like, oh shit, he got him that early? Why the fuck was you talking all that shit? But then I seen they weren't landing and he was still doing it and then throwing hard bombs with it. And I was like, oh, he's setting a trap for him. But yeah, I can't understand why you would just double down on something like that. And it just makes everything harder for everybody. The fans don't come to see that. Kevin McDonald knows he made a mistake. I'm sure he would have been down to just, all right, my bad. Let's get back to it. You know, nobody wins in this situation. Nobody wins. All right, now we had the co-main event with Felicia Spencer and Zara Farin dos Santos, I believe. Yeah, Felicia Spencer, she's a great grappler. And she ended up winning the first round late with a TKO. But to be honest, she was getting pieced up on the feet. She was getting pieced up. Zara was the taller woman. She was piecing her up. And I think she had some good shot defense. And a lot of these fights, I just wonder, it's like, how can you not plan for this? You know Felicia Spencer's going to try to take you down. You know that's their game plan. You know she can say whatever she wants. She's not going to be able to outstrike you. You know she's going to be looking for a takedown and either submission or she's going to try to ground and pound you. How could your training camp not consist of takedown defense, shot defense? Sometimes when I watch these fights, I'm just like, do you guys... And I know I'm taking it lightly, but it's like, it's hard to watch sometimes. It's like, fuck. She was doing so well. So well. And then as soon as she got her against the cage, it was like, oh boy. She just almost looked like she didn't know where to go from there. And the first time she shot, she got away, pieced her up a little bit more, backed up, and got herself back in the same position and just froze up. It's hard. As a wrestler, you know, it's just hard to watch certain things like that. It's like, lower your center of gravity, get your hips away. Get away. But yeah, Felicia Spencer ended up getting her and she beat her up pretty bad when she got her down. It was pretty violent after that. She got her on I think from the takedown went right to a full mount. It was pretty much game over from there. She was beating her. Honestly, okay, this is where it got fucked up. Because of I told you guys about the match that happened prior with that crazy early stoppage and the mistake and everything. Excuse me. With the mistake that Kevin McDonald made, stopping early and everything. And then Dan Mercogliata did this match. And I almost feel that because of that match that happened earlier, he had to let this one go longer, even though he could have called it a lot earlier. Like, this girl's getting beat the fuck up. And I think he was like, well, my nigga did just make the mistake of the night before me. I'm not going to be out here and just make a mistake right after that, I might have to let this one ride a little bit. That bitch was getting pieced up, bruh. Pieced up. And I felt it, but I was like, damn. It sucks that she had to be the victim, you feel me? Because I feel I'm like, guys, if you didn't see this match with Kutalaba and Magomed, you guys got to look this up. Like, it was, I don't know if it's on YouTube yet or whatever. You do have to look this up. It was ridiculous. One of the craziest stoppages I've ever seen. And I can't get mad at the referee because I see what he saw, but it was clear that this man was perfectly fine. And there was so much tense buildup before the fight to take it away. It was terrible. So I can totally understand why Dan Mercogliata was like, nah. We're gonna let this one ride out a little bit. And this bitch is just getting cracked on the bottom. Like, damn. You hate to see it. But shout out Felicia Spencer. You know what? She's back on the rise. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna see. I think, to be honest, I think both of these ladies beat Megan Anderson earlier and prior to this. So future match, we could see what happens. I know everybody wants to just fight Amanda Nunes at this point. I mean, I don't advise it, but everybody wants to because let me keep it a buck with you. Amanda Nunes ain't no slouch on the ground. So if Alicia Spencer, first of all, is gonna have to get in on Amanda Nunes, whose swinging is elite is not even the right words. Like Jesus Christ, she's got sandbags in her fucking hands. So good luck getting in on a shot on her. And then once you do, don't think that she's just gonna let you mount her. Like that shit ain't going like that. She's probably gonna get up. So yeah, I don't think you be careful what you ask for. Megan Anderson, she's taller. I don't see. I don't care. I don't see her striking being a problem for Amanda. I don't. She's a taller woman by quite a bit, I would assume. But maybe not that much taller, but her reach is she's got long arms. But so does Amanda Nunes. I can't see the striking going in Megan Anderson's favor there. She gets her down, same thing. Don't know why these girls are so eager to fight her, but hey, I know how it is. You want to get that money, the UFC, you got to get that title, defend it to start getting that percentage, start getting that money. I feel you, but at what cost? At what cost, my nigga? Oh, man. Okay, so on to the main event. We had Joseph Benavidez and Davison Figueiredo. And this is for the flyweight belt because Henry Cejudo is basically, he has both belts. He has the flyweight belt, he has the bantamweight belt, but he's basically surrendering. I think he might already surrendered the flyweight belt. He's just gonna stick to bantam, which is good for him. I mean, who's got time to be jumping? It's hard to do, man, to jump from weight to weight to weight to weight. You got to have time on your hands. Amanda Nunes is a lot different because nobody wants to fight her. Nobody wants to fight her, and there's not that many people to fight her in her division. So she's not under that much pressure to defend these belts. She's got a lot more time to get down or get up, and she doesn't really have to cut much weight either way. But I'm just saying, if she did, she wouldn't have to worry about time or anything like that or any pressure because who the fuck is trying to fight her? You know, they seen what she did to Cyborg. I'm sorry, Cyborg's a beast. Shout out Cyborg too. Got her first win at Bellator. But yeah, man. All right, so Davison Figueiredo, he didn't make weight for this fight. He didn't make weight, and this was for the belt. So even if he wins, which he did end up winning, he couldn't take the belt. And this was a hard one to watch, only because it's Joseph Benavidez, and it's like Figueiredo said himself. He's always the bridesmaid, never the bride, you know. And it's true. And it's tough to watch some guys because they're good. He's a good fighter. That fight he had with Mighty Mouse for the belt was a close one. He's a tough dude, man. Like, and it's always sad to see those guys are just like. But today, before this one, I've seen Figueiredo's last like 3 fights. This guy's elite on his feet, man. An elite striker, very calm, very calculated, and very dangerous on his feet. And I felt like this is that career ender type fight, and it looked like it. Well, it didn't look like it, to be honest, because nothing. This is just what I feel. I feel nothing in Benavidez's original plan was working as far as him being able to take him down. I think is what he wanted to do, and then control the fight from there. Nothing was working, so he fought fire with fire and kind of just stood on his feet and banged. And he was having some success there. Like, he really was. Some steady success. It wasn't until, like, I believe it was a headbutt. I gotta see, what round was it? They went in at each other. Round 2. It was, they went in at each other. It was just an accidental headbutt collision. But immediately the dude's head was just spewing blood. Like, profusely spewing blood. And then the minute he went to wipe some away, Figueiredo came with that I think it was a right hook, blow, just crumpled him up. And right there, you're just like, damn, it was a solid career. It was a solid career, brother. Like, we enjoyed to see it. We enjoyed watching it. You know it when you see it, bro. Like, that one was just goddamn fucking leg got caught under his body and shit. You know, it was so, like, if not for that earlier fight, I'd say this was probably the most, like, just for that minute in minute and 50 seconds into the second round. This was probably the most exciting. This fight was incredibly exciting. It was great, super back and forth up until that point. But damn, that accident. That's just circumstance. It's not. Figueiredo didn't try to headbutt him or anything like that because he was just as much at risk. The heads just collided. What I tell you instantly, like it's very rare that like blood, you just start like bleeding like that instantly. Like, I mean, the blood just started spewing out of him. Then the second he took his mind off of Figueiredo, kablow, kablow, that shit was over. That shit was fucking over. But yeah, man, I don't think, when they were raising hands after that one, excuse me, Benavidez was not present. It was just Figueiredo. That nigga's head was getting taped up. Niggas was like 1, 2, 3, getting this man back to earth. So he didn't actually retire in the ring or put his gloves down. So I'm just speculating here, but that nigga's done, bruh. That nigga's done, bruh. It's just, how much can your heart take, bruh? It's not even about a physical thing anymore because the dude, like I said, the fight was great. He was just fighting off of his game plan. Like, he was banging with a lethal striker. And just the worst things that could possibly happen, the most bizarre, it happened. And you lost. And how much can your heart take, bruh? How much? I don't know. And I think that's it for Benavidez. But, I've been wrong before. We shall see. We shall see. But from there, that was the main event of the night for the UFC. So from there, I went on to the Mikey Garcia, Jesse Vargas card. And I got there right before Chocolatito's fight, which is exactly what I wanted. Which is exactly because Chocolatito ain't fought in a minute. And this is a Hall of Fame boxer who I thought was done, honestly, before last night. Like, I'm not even sure. I think somebody at work had to tell me that he was the co-main. Like, I didn't even know that. Like, I was really just paying attention to the Mikey Garcia fight because usually I watch UFC and I'm lucky if I see any undercards before I get to a main event because by the time it's over, I just switch over and the main event is usually just starting. But yeah, man, and then he had lost to that Chinese dude twice, I think, got knocked out, and I thought he was done, man. He was getting older. I was like, and there's no shame, it's like this is a guy who's gonna walk into the Hall of Fame. You feel me? Like, it's an amazing boxer, and I just thought he was done. And he came out here against Calify, who's okay. So back to that theme that I was saying. Calify is what nationality is that? That nigga's black, bro. He's a nigga. He's a nigga. He's coming out to rap music. He's a nigga. I think he's British or something like that. But he's a nigga. Come on now. Come on, I know a nigga when I see one. Blackie, just to end Black History Month right. Chocolatito beat this nigga the fuck up. And the craziest thing is, Calify's game plan was so bizarre. So bizarre. And it's sort of like this kind of parallels to what I was saying about Benavidez. Like, this was totally the opposite of what you would want to do against a guy like Chocolatito. And we're talking about an Olympic boxer in Calify. To think that the best move was to go in there and stand and bang with this hard-nosed ass Mexican boxer, bro. What the fuck was you thinking? What the fuck was you thinking? Like, you're not going to out-tough guy him. Like, you're not. You're not. You needed to fucking fight behind your jab. Be smart. Move around. Stick your move. What are you doing? Standing right in front of a guy like Chocolatito. Jesus Christ. And at first, I mean, I'm not going to lie. At first, I think maybe like the first 3 rounds, it was working. It was working. But I think that was mostly just Choco being like, what is this? I think he was surprised that he was doing that. Like, he was like, none in a million years did I think you would just fight me like this. And then that 4th round came around, you bet. And then the counter punches started coming. Then, yeah, man, it was pretty much a beatdown from there, man. a beat down from there. He started fucking over. You could tell, man. He was just dinging this man. And his corner. See, this is how I know it was his game plan, because his corner was like encouraging him to stay in there and fight instead of trying to get him to step back and move out. I don't know what the fuck. I really don't, man. That was the most bizarre thing I saw that night out of UFC or boxing. The most, and that includes that whole Kutalaba thing. That includes the whole Kutalaba thing. This was more bizarre than that. To see this guy go out there and think this was the game plan, and his corner to back it, to be like, yeah, say fight, and it was like, clearly the fight is not working. This man is getting beat the fuck up by an old man, nonetheless, by an old man. This was highlights of a Pacquiao Thurman. Like, good lord, help this man. Like, help this young man. Like, show him the way, show him the light. Like, oh, it was bizarre, man. And yeah, he ended up getting knocked the fuck out just to end Black History Month off right. You feel me? Kubow! And he went down. This man was dizzy after like the fourth, though, bruh. To keep it a buck with you, dizzy after like the fourth. I don't remember what round he went down in. I want to say it was like the 10th. I want to say it was like the 10th. TKO on the 10th. But yeah, man. That nigga Chocolatito is back. He's back. Shit. And the one thing about his two losses, though, they came to the same guy. It was the same guy. So, you know, it's not like he's been slipping. You know, some matchups are a real thing. This might be one of those things where that matchup is never going to go in your favor. Maybe they run it back, but I don't know. He looked pretty fucking sharp to me last night. He looked pretty fucking sharp to me. And that was a great fight to tune in on, too, man. Like, just to see that one. But then let's jump to the main event. And, yeah, and like even last week when I was calling fucking, I was throwing shade saying I was asleep on Ryan Garcia because I was waiting on this fight. I was waiting on my boy to come back. My boy Mikey, bruh. Mikey's back. The Pride of Mexico. But, you know what? Let me just say this first. I love Mikey Garcia to death. But he is not a welterweight fighter. He is not a welterweight fighter. I don't care what he says. I don't care what anybody else says. He's just not. He's not big enough. He is not big enough, and it is visible in all of his fights. And he had a great fight last night. An amazing fight last night. He was very good, very sharp. But you can see that he is just not a true welterweight fighter. Like, I think if him and Jesse Vargas were the same size, Jesse Vargas would have been knocked the fuck out early, I think, because the power is, it's amazing that he still has the kind of power that he does going up so much weight, but he's just not a welterweight. He isn't. He's just purely going off skill alone, and I don't know if he's doing this just to prove a point, but why? Why are you doing it to prove a point? We already know you're a great boxer. We already know that. There's no points to be proven. I don't know if you're just proving it. Is it proving a point to yourself? I'm not sure at this point, but let me just start by saying he is not a welterweight boxer. But all right. So yeah, he went against Jesse Vargas, and at first it was looking like Jesse Vargas was gonna give this man problems. He was I'd say probably like the first 5 to 6 rounds I would have had. I mean, some of them go Mikey's way, but mostly Jesse Vargas. Jesse Vargas was putting it on him, man, and throwing power. And that's what happens when you go up that kind of weight. That shit hit different, bruh. Like, it don't hit the same as the motherfuckers you was used to. And I know Mikey Garcia was talking about I was working out with 160 pounders to get ready, and that's all well and dandy. It's all well and dandy till you get in that ring. Somebody could whoop-ah! Your shit just shake a little bit, bruh. You know what I'm saying? And that body shot hits you like, your shit just folds in a little bit, bruh. And the lights is on you, bruh. Niggas are like, ooh, look at that nigga and shit. And shit starts getting a little crooked, and you start sweating and shit. The corner's looking at you like, oh, it's a little bit different. You feel me? So I don't care about all that training shit. It's always gonna be, especially when you're fighting undersized, to fight the kind of competition that he's fighting. This guy isn't just jumping up two weight classes, fighting average run of the Joe schmuck fucks. He's not. This guy's going to welterweight, which is two classes above where he probably should be, and fighting the best of the best. And you saw what happens when he took on the best, probably in Errol Spence Jr. He got beat the fuck up. Errol Spence Jr. took that nigga's lunch money. He said, "Nigga, you're not getting the ham and cheese today. Ain't none of that." Nigga said, "I want another meatball sub." Took his lunch money. It was over. But he wasn't gonna go for it tonight. And I think that was kind of the fuel for this one, because I think most people would have went back. So I think he was like, "Man," and that's that Mexican shit. That's that Mexican pride of boxing shit, bruh. Because most niggas would have been like, "Yo, this is clearly not my weight class. I'm bugging the fuck out. Let me tone it down. Let me jump back, or at least he doesn't have to go back 2 weight class. At least go back down 1 weight class to regain a little bit of that power advantage. That you kind of had." And it's he doubled down. He was like, "I'm staying." Oh man, that's that pride though. The Mexican niggas got that fighting pride, bruh. He was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna do it." And he did that shit, bro. He did that shit. Because once that round 5 or 6 came around, Jesse Vargas started breathing real heavy, fam. Real heavy. And Mikey can go 12 rounds. So, I think it was a 1-2 that he was drilling him with. Left jab to a right, could have been a right straight, but I think it was a right hook. Left jab to a right hook, and it was landing every time. And then you just kept seeing him get dizzier and dizzier. And I think round 8, he had the knockdown with the Captain Falcon right knockdown. And I thought it was over from there, which is crazy because Jesse Vargas has never been knocked out. I don't think, and he's fought Pacquiao. He's pretty sure he fought. Didn't he fight Bronner? He's banged with some hitters. He's never been knocked out. And he almost went down when he got hit with that right. His head kind of it was highlights of Bernard going through the ropes. So I was like, oh shit, hold that man in the ring. But yeah, he got back up and he was dizzy for a couple rounds after that. Didn't quite have his feet under him. He was getting picked out a little bit, but from there it just it was downhill. I think actually that's not true though, because the last round, because Mikey Garcia didn't get overconfident. He never really went for the kill. And I think that's because he understood that he's going up 2 weight classes, giving up that much weight is dangerous. At any time you could get knocked the fuck out. And I think he was really just gonna be patient. He knew he was ahead. Why take that risk with this kind of power? Which I understand, but if you're feeling like that, man, should you really be in that weight class to begin with? Which is kind of my point. And my point was the last 2 rounds, Vargas kind of got his feet back. Well, I think 11 and 12, you could have argued that Vargas might have got those 2 rounds, and then you add that up with the 4 rounds maybe he got in the beginning, and now we're back at a close ass fight, barring the knockdowns for Mikey Garcia, and it shouldn't have been like that. I mean, because you had this man out of it, you had this man seeing shit. You know that there's that moment where you dizzy and you're looking. I can only imagine you're looking. You see people's faces, and it's just in slow mo. People are just like, no. You just know it's going downhill and shit. But yeah, man, he let him get back into it. But ultimately, he won a unanimous decision, and I'm happy because that's my guy. But I said it once, I've said it a billion times. He needs to go back down a weight class. I'm not saying he has to go back down both, but he is not a welterweight. He just isn't. And that's not a knock because he just won a belt. He's WBC champion. That's great. That's all well and dandy. But you are not a true welterweight. So, I mean, it's just like, are we out here to prove points? Or are we out here to be the best boxers that we can possibly be? And I think you should just be trying to be the best boxer that you can possibly be. And that is not at that weight class. Because at the end of the day, you're never going to be able to beat Errol Spence. I just, I just, I don't know. And I hate to take away because it was a great win for Mikey Garcia. But if them two guys are the same exact weight, that is not even close. Garcia is destroying this man, like destroying this man. That size and power difference is that much of a difference that a fight will go 12 rounds as opposed to 4 or 5. And I truly believe that because Mikey was hitting him with some fucking gas, and it didn't catch up to him until round 6, 7, 8. He didn't start feeling it until then because that's that size. So yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't recommend fighting as a welterweight any longer for him. But who the fuck am I? You know, who the fuck am I? You know what I'm saying? The fuck am I? I don't give a fuck what I got to say. You know what I'm saying? I'm just here bullshitting with y'all. But all right, so that was the main event of that night. We never talked about some of the fights last week, did we? Did we? Because I didn't have a chance to because we had the other podcast in between. So I can talk about the other UFC fight night. UFC Fight Night 168 was the Paul Felder, Dan Hooker. To be honest, that was a dogfight, man. That was a dogfight. And like I think I had said that I thought Dan Hooker was going to win. I had predicted he would win, and I thought it was his time. You know, I thought it was his time. He's a young fighter, and he's really starting to come into his own. He's starting to look like a killer. But Dan Hooker didn't fight the way that I thought he would when I had made that prediction. This was totally different. He was a lot more calm, and he had the utmost respect for Paul Felder. He was just standing on the outside, kind of just picking him apart slowly. And Paul Felder don't give a fuck. Paul Felder just stands and bangs. To be honest with you guys, I don't, because let's be honest, there's no real structure to no UFC judging. There's no real structure here. Nobody really knows how this shit works. We think we do. We have an idea of how it works. There's strikes thrown, strikes landed, takedowns, pressure. No, we really don't fucking know because there's also audience appeal. Fucking, there's so many different factors that go into what these judges think matter for a UFC fight. So we really don't know. So if I'm one of those judges, to be honest with you guys, I might have gave this one to Felder. Just off that pure. Who was really scrapping though? You know, this looked like who did more damage, which I get. That's kind of what it's about. That's what fighting's about. You know what I'm saying? Who did the most damage? But Dan Hooker wasn't really trying to get dirty. You feel me? He wasn't really trying to get dirty, bruh. Paul Felder was really trying to get dirty. And I think we're all going to be all willy-nilly on the way we judge fights in the UFC. Why can't I just judge based on fucking scrapping, bruh? This nigga came to scrap, bruh. And I mean, it wasn't none of that fight was outrageous either way. It wasn't it was a split hair decision. This was a very close fight, very competitive fight. So there was either way this fight shook down. It was very close and very competitive. And it was a great fight to watch. And then, okay, but the problem here though was after the fight, right? Dan Hooker wins the close decision. Then Paul Felder proceeds to half retire. He takes off one glove and then cries about his I have a 4-year-old daughter at home. This might be it for me, guys. Oh, man, dog. Let me tell you where you fucked up. Paul, you ain't had nearly a long enough career for one of these cowboy right off into the sunset type of retirement. You haven't, brother. You haven't done enough yet. And mind you, this was a close fight that could have gone either way. This was, God, it was. I can't even explain. I'm getting kind of annoyed just thinking about it because it was so out of place. Guys, this shit was so out of place. It was the weirdest thing ever. It was after this war, where after you have this beautiful fight like that, these two guys are supposed to get up, hug it out, and then be like, yo, run it back. Like the real ones do. You feel me? The real ones get up, they're like, yeah, man, anytime you're ready to run that back, let's get it. You know what I'm saying? Then we get a great rematch. And that's what we come to do. You don't sit up there crying. First of all, he's talking about, oh, I got a 4-year-old daughter at home. He ain't talked about your daughter ever before in the last 4 years. Fuck, we talking about her now for? What is this? Why do you think this is the time to start talking about that shit? Come on now, bruh. Come on now. Or at least wait till you get backstage. What are you doing? What are you doing? And then I think this all hit Paul Felder when he was doing it. Because I think that's why he only took off one glove. I think this thing was taking off one glove. He's looking in the corner. His corner mates were like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? Stop. And he's like, maybe I'm not done. Because he hasn't had any official word on his retirement yet. Which I don't think he's going to. I mean, he's a great fighter. That shit was so awkward. It was the most awkward thing ever. And I think they oh man, like I said, it would have been a lot better backstage. Like, dude, you have to earn that kind of write up. Like when Chael Sonnen did it at Bellator, was much deserved. And that was like one of the more recent ones. Much deserved. You know what I'm saying? This guy's had a legendary career and given back. And you know, when people do that, then it's like, you know, we feel it. For Paul Felder, it was like, pick your glove up, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you doing? We don't want that yet. We don't want that yet. There ain't enough blood on that shit yet. Like, nigga, pick up your t-shirt, your shorts, and leave. And leave. Stop talking, nigga. Ain't nobody asked you for all this. Jeez Louise, man. Jeez Louise. God, I'm trying to think of... See, all right, let me give you a great example. This is how you go out in dignity, bruh. Jose Aldo, bruh. He came in, got hit with that mean left by Conor. This man did the 40-yard dash to the back before he started crying, bruh. Because he wasn't going to be out there showing his ass, bruh. Be out there on live TV just balling. Just balling. All your young fans are just watching you. You're their hero. You just bawling your eyes out. I'm not saying you can't cry, bruh. I'm just saying... There's a time and place, bro. There's a time and this really didn't even call for it. It really didn't. It's a respectable fight. Did not call for that. It was and the other thing with the Jose Aldo, though, man, that man ran. They followed that motherfucker like Maury, didn't they? Had the cameras on him. Like, you ain't going nowhere, bro. Every dipping corner, that motherfucker winning, they was on his ass. Saying, hey, where the fuck you think you going, bro? Niggas was popping out the ceiling and shit. Sitting up there crying his eyes out. Honestly, could he have sued for that? Could he have sued for that? I feel like that was like fucked up on like another level, man. That shit was fucked up, but it was funny. But like, and then you could go the DC route where DC was pretty pitiful too. When DC lost to John Jones the second time, but that was because he probably shouldn't have been getting interviewed. This dude had just got knocked out and got interviewed. And Joe Rogan had apologized for that and shit. We all know that it wasn't the intention, but yeah, he probably just shouldn't have been getting interviewed in the first place because that dude wasn't all there. And then it was an emotional subject because obviously him and John Jones just hate each other. It's just pure hate. It has nothing to do with promotion. They just don't really like each other. So that's a tough one to lose, especially at the end of your career. It was a great way to go out. But, yeah, then he started balling in the ring. But you ain't supposed to do that, bruh. You ain't supposed to do that. Not in this sport. Not in this sport. I don't know about that, Paul Felder. I hope you don't retire. Hope you come back. I'll still be rooting for you, you feel me? But, yeah, that wasn't it. That wasn't it, dog. That definitely wasn't it. Alright, man. Let's talk about the big one. Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder. We talked about the leading up to the fight. But Jesus Christ, was I wrong. Oh my God. This man beat the shit out Deontay Wilder, boy. Beat the shit out Deontay Wilder. Talk about getting this. Talk about ending Black History Month off right. The whitest of white men. It's not even the fact that it's the whitest white guy possible. An Englishman calling you a dosser while he's doing it. Just beating the shit out your ass, bruh. God damn. God damn, it's a shame. Seen a funny thing on the internet. It was like, this is gonna be hung up at white barber shops everywhere. I'm like, you're probably right, bruh. Niggas will be looking up just that picture of this like a Deontay on the deck and Tyson over. Oh man, it was not a good one. It's not a good one for us guys. Niggas been eating them bowl owls, bruh. Just waking up eating bowls owls, bruh. This shit has been crazy, crazy. But there's a couple things. This fight was nothing like I expected. I mean, Deontay Wilder he was like I expected. He wasn't. What else were you gonna expect? He was waiting for the shot. Everybody knew what he was gonna do, but I just didn't expect. I knew Tyson Fury said he was gonna do this, and first of all, let's just give him credit for that. When has anybody ever just done what they said they were gonna do? Well, when's the last guy to do that? Fucking Babe Ruth. They just be saying shit all the time. They'll never fucking do it to a T. This man said he was gonna come in there and knock this motherfucker. He said he's gonna get him out of there, bruh. He said he's gonna do it earlier than he said. Then he ended up doing it, but still, bruh. Still, he got that motherfucker up out of there, bruh. But yeah, man, I did not expect him to come and hit that hard, son. Like he said he's coming in 270. And he said he was coming built to knock a nigga out, and he did, bruh. He did. He was rocking that man. I still think that first overhand right that knocked Deontay Wilder down was behind the head. I seen a picture of it too later, because I've had time because I didn't get to do a recap after the fight, so I haven't talked to you guys a while about this fight. But there was the first knockdown that Tyson Wilder got, the one that really it went all downhill because he never really got his footing back. Let's be honest. But I'm not saying this is why Fury won. I think Fury's winning either way. I mean, he was dogging him. I think Fury's winning either way. I'm not taking anything away from Tyson Fury. I'm just saying that first knockdown was behind the head. He landed, I don't know if it was because Deontay Wilder came forward, I can't really remember, but he came an overhand right, and he got him just behind the head, and Deontay Wilder fell forward. And if you're standing in front of somebody, and you hit them in the side of the head, and they're standing in front of you, they should go that way. They shouldn't fall towards you. He went back, and it just happened. That's just where he caught him. He caught him just in the back of the head, and that's why Deontay Wilder fell forward. And he got right back up after that, but Homeboy was never the same. He couldn't even react, really. If you've ever been hit in the back of the head, bro, that shit'll just throw your whole shit off. It'll throw your whole shit off. You'll be, you in the Matrix and shit. That shit'll throw your whole shit off. But I'm not making excuses for him. I mean, if you're going to fight a guy like Tyson Fury, I mean, it'd be a better idea to know how to box, but, what can I say? I'm not a professional boxer. So I think if I was doing it, I might try to learn how to box before I fought a nigga like that. But, he's got that power that was just, it's been right every other time. So why doubt it now? But yeah, it was wrong this time, bruh. So after that, you had him hit him, and then he had the ear shot where he punched him in the ear, and every fucking blood vessel in this nigga ear just exploded on impact. It's just, I've never seen that much blood come out of an ear before, bro. That shit was wild. Then he got hit later than that. The side of the face, lip fucking exploded. And that was like, bro, there's a picture of him getting cracked against the ropes by Fury, where his lips just like hanging off and shit. And I was just like, yeah, we gotta just, that was Black History Month this year, bro. We gotta just take that out. We're gonna bounce back next year, you feel me? We're gonna be back better than ever. But that one was, that's pretty much the vibe of this month, bro. It's been a tough one. Yeah. Okay, so also, if you remember from the previous scrap show I did, I spoke a lot about don't sleep on the fact that Deontay Wilder has a chin on him, bruh. This man has a motherfucking chin. And I said it then, I say it now. Motherfucker has a chin on him. Don't think for 1 second this man couldn't have stayed in the ring. It should have been stopped earlier than it was. I applaud his ring, and it's because it's his family, and they love him. I don't know why he was getting mad at him. I'm like, bro. But he could have stayed in that ring for the 12 rounds. I have no doubt, barring getting knocked down and counted out. But he would continuously get up. He's. I've seen it. It's happened in some of his wins where he'll just be like really not there and like falling forward almost and getting hit and then just falling forward. That's happened before until eventually he caught that right. But that right just wasn't coming in this fight. I'm telling you, it just wasn't coming in this one. There was like, maybe there's always that. No, it was not coming because Tyson Fury was not giving him a chance to let that shit come. So it was, he was getting bullied. But then when his corner mates called the fight, he's sitting up there trying to argue, like, man, I'm still good. I'm still in the fight. Yeah, you good, bro, but you really want to be retarded and shit? Like, bro, okay, where were these? That's what you need in boxing. Corner mates like this that do shit like that in boxing are what the fuck you need, dog. That's what you need. Where were these niggas back in the day for Joe Frazier, for Muhammad Ali, bruh? Have you seen these niggas, bruh? Like, you remember when... I'm sorry, but you remember when Muhammad Ali was lighting the torch for the Olympics and shit, half fucking retarded and shit? Fucking... Jesus, let the games begin and some dumb shit. Fucking Joe Frazier couldn't even speak and shit. This is because motherfuckers wasn't there to throw in white towels, bruh. You need motherfuckers that love you to be like, bro, stop. Think about your fucking kids, fam. Think about your wife, man. Think about your life, bruh. Like, stop. This boxing shit is not forever, dog. Like, we get it. You tough. You would keep going. That's the beauty of the white towel. You don't. The fighter doesn't have to feel the shame, of saying I quit. You have somebody else that loves you, that will help you and do that for you, bro. It's a great system. I don't know why he's even getting mad at that, bro. You know that was over. No, that shit was over, bro. These niggas they needed that shit back then. Back then they needed that in boxing when motherfuckers was getting beat the fuck up. Fucking CTE, amnesia, Alzheimer's, fucking. Yeah, I'm serious though, bro. Like, dude, the only reason they do that shit is because they love you, dog. Like when Mikey Garcia was fighting Errol Spence, bro, because Mikey Garcia's trainer is his brother. His brother during that fight was like, I don't know Spanish. I wish I had some of my dogs with me because I'd have them speaking in Spanish. It's so much funnier if you heard it in the Spanish. But dude's basically just like, stop, man. Let me throw this for you. Let me throw this white towel for you, man. Like, this isn't gonna get better. Like, this is not gonna get better. Like, we watched, we hear what you're saying. We know you want to keep fighting. We watched your last 3 rounds. It's not gonna get any better than it is right now. So we're gonna have to throw in this towel on you, bro. And that shit is great, bro. You need that. And Deontay Wilder, he should be thankful to have that in his corner, bro, because they care. But, there's more I can get into about this fight, actually. But before I do that, let's just talk about the fact that Deontay Wilder is trying to invoke his trilogy contract for the fight, because there was a trilogy, what the fuck? I don't know what the fuck you call it. In the contract, that was part of the contract, that there would be a trilogy fight barring a loss. He had that put in, which is very smart on his part. But I don't think Tyson Fury wants to do it. I wouldn't want to do it. I mean, if I'm Wilder, I get why you'd want to do it. I mean, there's no reason to not make that money, but it's gonna go the same way. That's it. You've been figured out. But I think the best part is, I think if I'm wrong, please somebody get the comments correct me if I'm wrong. But I believe if Tyson Fury doesn't accept the trilogy fight, that he has to pay some crazy amount of money. I'm talking like millions of millions on millions. So I think I think it's something to think about if you got to pay that much money to not do it. But I don't know if I'd like to see it. I told you guys, I think in the last podcast, barring whatever happened with Deontay, I thought whether if Wilder won or lost, it was still going to be him versus Anthony Joshua, because I think that's the fight to make. I think it's more exciting than a fight with Tyson Fury against Anthony Joshua. And now it's a tie again between Wilder and Joshua because they both have losses. Fury has none, so I don't know why you would just give. You should have Joshua fight Deontay Wilder. Then if Joshua wins that, he goes on to face Fury, or vice versa, because then Wilder will have a belt again. If he beats Joshua, goes on to face Fury for the trilogy. I think it makes more sense to do that. And as like I was saying, either way it shook out, you was gonna get Wilder or Joshua. I think that's the fight to make. But okay, what we need to talk about here though. Did you guys hear? This is really the icing on the cake of Black History Month, and this is why I said it was going to be an ongoing theme throughout the day. That's why I said keep this in the back of your noggin. I was going to keep talking about it. Did you hear the excuse the nigga used? Did you hear the excuse the nigga Deontay Wilder used? I'm almost ashamed to say it. Did you hear the excuse the man used? He said he had no energy during the fight. Nah, man. Nah, you can't go like this, dog. This man said he had no energy because of that goddamn Mortal Kombat costume that he wore. Coming into the ring drained him out. And it was like 45 pounds. And that his arms and legs were dead by the time the fight started. Word? So you tell me... Okay. Alright, word. You're telling me... You're telling me the fucking costume you wore on your way to the ring made you too tired to fight in the ring. That's what you're telling me. Take it off! Take it the fuck off! Take it the fuck off! What are you doing? What are you doing? If I'm his... excuse me, if I'm his fucking team, I'm gonna be like... Alright, Deontay Wilder's walking in. He's like, man, shit's heavy, man. I don't know if it's a good idea, man. It's kind of heavy. I think it's kind of draining my energy. Oh, you want to take it off? We got t-shirts and hoodies in the back. The fuck are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about? Dude, if I was walking to the ring, let's say my dumb ass is a professional boxer, right? Let's say I'm walking to the ring. Let's say I'm Noah Circus Jones, right? And I come in with a hula hoop on my head, and it's a hula hoop on fire, and there's fucking little poodles jumping through the hula hoop, and this is my gimmick. I'm juggling beach balls, and that's just my shit on the way to the ring. Okay, so if this ring of fire on my head is burning my scalp on the way to the ring, before I have the biggest fight of my life, do I keep it on? Do I still wear it? No! You take it off. You take it off. If it fucking bothers you, if it's impairing your ability to go out there and be the best fighter you can be, take it off. Take it the fuck off. I'm so confused. Nigga, this is something you chose, and then mind you, not only did you choose to wear this 45-pound outfit, you chose to have somebody perform an entire rap song on your way to the ring. I'm not talking about a verse. I'm talking about all three verses and all three hooks to an entire rap song. On your way to... You were walking like... What the... This is how you're going to go? This is how you're going to go? This is how you wanted to end it, bruh? That's what you wanted to go with? That's what you fucking wanted to go with? Jesus Christ. It's, that's pitiful. That's pitiful. I just, man. Just take the out. Just, you know what I'm saying? You got the shit beat out of you. Nigga came in here, he took your lunch money. Take that bowl of L's. Eat that shit up, fam. Eat that shit up, fam. You can't go like that. That shit's embarrassing for me. I'm embarrassed for you, nigga. Because you saying dumb shit like that. Like, I chose to wear this 45-pound outfit. I chose to walk very slowly to the ring and just drain myself for the biggest fight of my life. And that's the reason I lost. Oh, God. Nigga, there's so many better excuses. I had doctor's notes forged talking about, there was a crazy injury in my training camp. Who knows what happened and shit. The shit was wild, man. I was working in camp, rolled my ankle, was never the same and shit. I at least put some effort into it, bruh. That is the dumbest shit I've ever heard. You embarrassed your camp. They're all embarrassed and shit. Them niggas are like, word, bruh. Word. Word. Been walking around the house all year with that shit on. Damn. Damn. Not been the best month for blacks. Not been the best month for blacks. But it's March now, baby. It's March now, baby. We back. We better than ever. You know what I'm saying? And I'm still rocking with you. I'm still fucking with you people, bruh. Shit. Oh, did you hear about the MLB though? The MLB is pretty much doubling down on like everybody trying to like sue over this whole 2017 Astros thing. Let me preface this by saying I'm a huge Yankees fan, diehard Yankees fan. So I definitely feel I'm hurt from the 2000 because I thought 2017 was our year. So I'm hurt that we found out they were cheating and everything. But I feel the MLB too, bruh. Like they're pretty much just saying, dog, there's always been cheating in sports. Get over it. And if I'm gonna keep a buck with y'all, they're right. They're right, bruh. Niggas always gonna be cheating, bruh. Niggas always gonna be cheating, bruh. Well, fucking Bill Belichick, the Patriots, they made a career out of it, bruh. Niggas always gonna be cheating. And I'll sit up here and look you in the eyes and tell you, Tom Brady is the best quarterback to ever play. So what? So what? 50 years down the line, we think we're gonna remember that niggas was cheating? Nah. Probably not, bruh. Probably not, bruh. To be honest, what they say, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying, bruh. Niggas always gonna be cheating, bruh. Sad to say, but it's the truth, bruh. This ain't nothing new. This ain't nothing new. Niggas been cheating since the beginning of time. Since the beginning, niggas gonna be cheating long after, bruh. Long after. Shit. Gotta learn how to cheat better, bruh. Ain't no lessons for your kids, motherfuckers. But yeah, I don't know if I got much more than that, boys. I think that might be it for me. Like I said, I'll be back next week with Mike for another regular episode of I Hate You. Back to our normal shenanigans, you feel me? Yeah, you know, it's been a great time kicking it with you. I'll be back in 2 weeks for another one of these. Usually I'd like to have a guest on with me for these scrap shows. It makes it a lot more engaging. I can play videos and stuff. But we got great fights coming up, man. We got great fights coming up. So I expect to see you soon, motherfuckers. Been chilling with the doctor. Got a PhD, don't tread on me, bitch. Holla at your boy. I'm out. Peace.